What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. We have a safety recall notice for you today, a piece of news. This isn't one of our normal videos, but we do all kinds of stuff on this channel, so here's a recall notice. As you saw from the title, Smith & Wesson has done it again. There is another safety recall notice, and this time it involves the Response 9mm carbine. I don't have any idea how many of them are out there. I don't know anybody that personally owns it, but I'm sure there's a few people that are going to be pretty upset about this. In a nutshell, the problem comes from out-of-battery detonations. Those out-of-battery detonations can lead to cracking the receiver, from what I understand, or from what they say. For those of you that don't know what an out-of-battery detonation is, it's when the cartridge is not fully chambered for one reason or another, and the bolt is not able to close behind it. So it usually leaves an exposed piece of cartridge, and when the primer gets touched off, it doesn't contain the pressure, and then boom, you have some sort of a discharge of shrapnel. It could be unburnt powder, burnt powder, carbon. It could be little pieces of brass from the cartridge itself rupturing. And in this case, supposedly, it can actually crack the receiver. I don't know if that means pieces of the gun itself are going to go flying or not, but it's never good when things don't detonate when they're where they're supposed to detonate. Now, am I surprised that this would happen? Absolutely not. People right out of the gate called out the fact that this is a polymer rifle, and if things go wrong with polymer, it's usually not good. You would normally think, hey, this is only a 9mm, but still, when you don't contain the pressure, there is some pretty good PSI involved. Even if it doesn't create a whole lot of damage, it is not a good user experience. It takes away confidence from new shooters, young shooters. That's not something you want to happen. And if this firearm is ever intended for some people to be a defensive tool, which I'm sure some will use it like that, that's really not good. Anything that makes the firearm go down, potentially in a defensive situation, is really bad. That's life-threatening. So this is not me beating up on Smith & Wesson. This is truly me trying to help people understand that there's a problem with this rifle, and if you don't get it from other sources, maybe you stumble upon this video and you realize that you need to send your rifle back in and get it checked out. I'm going to read the exact safety recall here, and I'm going to put it up on screen. What it reads directly from the website: Smith & Wesson Response Consumer Safety Alert. Description of hazard. Smith & Wesson has identified a condition where, if the bolt were to fail to fully close and the trigger is pulled, an out-of-battery discharge may occur. An out-of-battery discharge could potentially rupture an unsupported case, venting gas through the magazine well and upper receiver, and possibly fracturing a portion of the receiver. We ask that you stop using your rifle immediately until it has been inspected and repaired as necessary. So pretty much just what we described. Not good, could fracture the gun entirely. So they're saying, stop using it, it needs to be sent in. Moving on to which models are affected, which is just about all of them. Although we have only observed this condition in a very small number of products, out of an abundance of caution, we are asking consumers of all affected Smith & Wesson Response rifles manufactured before February 12th, which was just yesterday pretty much, 2024, to return their rifle to Smith & Wesson for inspection and repair for this condition. So this is being filmed on the 23rd of February, so not that long ago. And I don't care if they say this has been observed in a small number of firearms, any amount of firearms is not good. If this is a failure or flaw in design, not good. I really don't know what goes on with the Smith & Wesson design team, engineering team, quality control team, and whoever just tests these ideas out in general. I mean, Smith & Wesson, if you're watching this video, get a hold of me, send me an email, and I promise you, I'm not even being a smarty pants right now. Send me your firearms. I've already shown you a lot of problems with your 10mm handgun, but I'm telling you, just send them to real people who are going to use them in real conditions, and we'll come up with some things that are wrong with them, I'm sure. I don't know how some of these things get through the initial testing phases. And that's pretty much just a joke, because I'm sure Smith & Wesson hates me by now, but moving on. Remedy/action to be taken. Stop using your rifle until it has been inspected and repaired as necessary. If your response rifle is included in the Consumer Safety Alert, which is pretty much all of them now, we will arrange for the return of your rifle to Smith & Wesson for inspection and repair. Your rifle will be repaired at no cost to you and will be returned as quickly and efficiently as possible. All shipping and repair costs will be covered by Smith & Wesson. Well, at least they're going to pay for it, right? Hopefully they get it back to you in a timely fashion. So, how to determine if your rifle is affected. This will be for anybody that stumbles upon this video later down the road, not immediately. Only response rifles manufactured prior to February 12, 2024 are included in this Consumer Safety Alert. To determine whether your rifle was manufactured prior to February 12, 2024, please see the date of manufacture on the label of the box received at the time of purchase of the rifle. And then there's also a box available so that you can enter your serial number to see if it's been affected. And they do have a picture included where you can look to see if it has been repaired or updated. I'm not sure if they do it to all of the newer ones, but at least the repaired ones supposedly have these little hash marks by the 9mm marking. So that really does truly suck, but hopefully this word gets out and people get their things repaired. I really wish Smith & Wesson would just focus on what they do well and quit trying to think outside of the box or whatever it is they're doing. I wish that they would just update some of their current offerings, like let's say the Smith & Wesson M&P series pistols. They have a 1.0, a 2.0. Let's see what you can do with a 3.0. Let's start making some special edition or cooler version, different models of some of your revolvers that you've done very well on. We'd like to see an update to the M&P 15, please. All this other stuff you're working on, I think it's just distracting you from making quality products and putting out what people want. I could be wrong. There's always a market out there for somebody who wants one of everything, no matter how weird or odd or out of place it is for a company. Sure, some people will buy it. But for the most part, I think Smith & Wesson is totally losing their grip on reality. And apparently they're losing their grip on quality control, testing, and engineering also. Just the turkey's opinion. However, it was not that long ago that they came out with a new product known as the M&P 12 gauge, whatever the actual name is for it. I highly doubt it's a military and police worthy model, but pretty soon after that thing came out, immediate recall. It just doesn't inspire confidence in the Smith & Wesson of nowadays. I'm not going to drag this out. This is basically just a safety notice. I'm not going to sit here and beat up on Smith & Wesson forever. If this video helped you out, we always appreciate a thumbs up and a share. If you want to see a bunch of cool videos, including gel tests, product reviews, live chats, and things like that, hit subscribe. If you are subscribed, check the notification bell because you know how that thing goes. If you really think we're doing a good job on the Turkey's Opinion, we are on Patreon, and we do have the YouTube join button turned on. Thank you to everybody that's already in both of those places. And thank you for watching this video. Hope to see you at the next one, and until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting.